Hello everybody, today we're talking on New Total English Upper Intermediate and it is Unit 1 and the subject is Connect. It is an intro lesson, introductory lesson. The first task is to read the text and match the parts of speech with each underlined word or phrase. Прочтите текст и соедините части речи с подчеркнутым словом или фразой. Parts of speech with each underlined word or phrase. So the text is, according to the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, in the 7th century before Christ, the king of Egypt, Psamtik I, decided to conduct a scientific experiment. Using his absolute power over his subjects, he took 2 newborn babies and handed them to a shepherd, pastuch, with instructions that they were to be brought up in total isolation. Most importantly, no one was to speak in the baby's presence. Psamtik wanted to find out what language the children would speak if left to themselves. He thought that the language they produced would be the oldest in the world, the original language of the human race. After 2 years, the shepherd heard the 2 children repeatedly pronounce the word bekos. This was identified as meaning bread in the language of the Phrygians, a people then living in central Turkey. From this experiment, Psamtik deduced that the Phrygian language must be the first ever spoken. Nobody now believes Psamtik's conclusion. A few commentators suggest that the infants were imitating the sound of the shepherd's sheep, but no one since has had any better success in discovering what man's very first spoken language was like. Хочу обратить ваше внимание, что здесь мы видим такую форму, как a people. Мы все привыкли говорить a person, человек, и people, люди. Если же мы говорим a people как единственное число, употребляя данное существительное, это значит нация. А в таком случае peoples будут нации. A people, peoples. Итак, наше задание match the parts of speech with each underlined word or phrase. Here we can see the underlined words, phrases, and here is the parts of speech and grammar phenomena. Здесь у нас с вами подчеркнутые слова, фразы, и также грамматические явления и части речи. Давайте попробуем разобраться. Present perfect. Стандартная форма, имеющая вспомогательный глагол have и глагол в третьей форме. Has had. А для себя, пожалуйста, отмечайте, что является некоторым пробелом, чтобы мы с вами к этому разделу могли в любой момент вернуться. Past continuous. Were imitating. Вспомогательный глагол в прошедшем времени to be и глагол синговой формы. Uncountable noun. Bread. Естественно, хлеб. Bread. Phrasal verb brought up. Воспитанный, brought up. Article, the. Preposition, in. Countable noun, исчисляемое существительное. Conclusion. Superlative, превосходная степень сравнения прилагательного. Здесь oldest. Также не забываем, что мы употребляем ее с определенным артиклем. The oldest имеется в виду самый в какой-то группе. Самый первый, самый старший, самый старый. Adjective. Прилагательное. Какой? Scientific. Научный. Мы видим характерный суффикс для прилагательного. Scientific. Adverb. Repeatedly. Repeatedly. Repeatedly имеет характерный суффикс наречия. Ly. Repeatedly. Много раз повторяя. Как? Повторно. Pronoun. He. Местоимение. And modal verb. Must. Да, мы с вами вспомнили некоторые части речи и грамматические явления. Каждый из вас для себя отметил, что необходимо подтянуть, и двигаемся дальше. IntroLesson. Find the grammar mistake in each sentence and correct it. They've been to Brazil last year. Last year сам по себе маркер того времени, которое относится к прошлому. В прошлом году. Это, конечно же, будет were. Просто быть, глагол быть в прошедшем времени в множественном числе. They were to Brazil last year. Необходимо повторить past simple и, возможно, разницу past simple и present perfect. Вот если бы было просто предложение they've been to Brazil, они были в Бразилии, неважно когда, мы бы, конечно, употребили have been, без сомнений. Но если мы подчеркиваем момент в прошлом, момент, именно относящийся к законченному периоду в прошлом, they were to Brazil last year, мы подчеркиваем, что это было когда-то в прошлом, поэтому мы употребляем past simple. They were to Brazil last year. The next sentence, следующее предложение. This cathedral built in 1519 was built. It is passive voice. У нас пропущено здесь был построен. Этот собор построен. Мы не можем в английском языке говорить без слова был. This cathedral was built in 1590. Был построен. Где-то, где есть упущенные моменты, мы можем посмотреть с вами полностью passive voice тему, пассивный залог, или как мы называем в русском языке страдательный залог, и закрепить ее. She's the person what told me I should study economics at university. Ну, во-первых, здесь told me, и здесь будет she's the person who told me I should study economics at university. Или she's the person that told me. Про одушевленные, да, про людей мы говорим who или хотя бы that, который. Who. Про неодушевленные мы говорим which. Вот здесь вообще не к месту. Нужно повторить местоимение, вопросительные слова. I was reading in my room when I was hearing. Изначально было написано I was reading in my room when I was hearing a loud crash downstairs. Я читал в комнате, как услышал звонкий звук поломки какой-то внизу. Здесь, конечно, не слышал. Я резко услышал, поэтому мы не имеем права употреблять was hearing, я слышал долго. I heard, я просто услышал. Здесь можно повторить разницу между past simple и past continuous. I was reading in my room when I heard a loud crash downstairs. The next sentence. My grades this year are a lot better than last year, unfortunately. И здесь мы забыли употребить форму worse, хуже. Здесь степени сравнения прилагательных, degrees of comparison. Хороший, лучше, самый лучший, good, better, the best, bad, worse, the worst, beautiful, more beautiful, the most beautiful, small, smaller, the smallest, and so on. So my grades this year are a lot worse than the last year, unfortunately. You work for Apple, aren't you? Либо же здесь нужно задать вопросы questions present simple. Do you work for Apple? Ты работаешь на компанию Apple? Do you work for Apple? И тогда уже aren't you не нужно. Либо же, если мы повторяем разделительные вопросы, это особый тип вопросов. You work for Apple, don't you? Don't you? If I'll have time, I'll paint my bedroom this weekend. Здесь нужно повторить if sentences, придаточных условия, если и времени, когда. Если у меня будет время, я покрашу свою спальню в эти выходные. В главном предложении я покрашу свою спальню. Всегда будет употребляться будущее время. Но вот если у нас есть условие или время, при каком условии, если у меня будет время? В русском языке мы, конечно же, говорим в будущем времени, а в английском языке мы права такого не имеем. If I have time, если у меня будет время, переводим на русский будущем, а в английском if I have time, I'll paint my bedroom this weekend. Или же сравните, когда у меня будет время, я покрашу свою комнату. When I have time, I'll paint my bedroom. Если будет дождь, я пойду гулять. If it is raining, or if it rains, I will go for a walk. Или если будет дождь, я останусь дома. If it is raining or if it rains, I will stay at home. В общем, это предложение if sentences, придаточные условия и времени. Can I give you a small advice? Мы не можем так сказать, потому что advice такой существительный, перед которым не употребляется артикль так же как слово weather, погода, information, baggage, luggage, and so on and so forth. Нужно повторить существительный раздел неисчисляемый, uncountables. He's always wanted to be a teacher. He has always wanted to be a teacher. Перед профессией мы всегда употребляем article. Okay, let's go further. IntroLesson and complete the classification with words or phrases. And here we have 4 categories: sports and fitness, work, people, and holidays. And we have some phrases and words like do aerobics, souvenir, application form, sense of humor, take up a hobby, be promoted, go sightseeing, and father-in-law. Let's classify them. So do aerobics, it's sports, souvenir, sure, holidays, application form, work, sense of humor, people, take up a hobby, sports maybe sometimes it's holidays, but usually sports, and be promoted, work, go sightseeing, sure, holidays, father-in-law, people. Great. Going further. Now look at the dictionary extract from the Longman Active Study Dictionary. What does it tell you about each of the following? Grammar, pronunciation, and meaning. Tell is misprint, of course, tell, double L. And here the word is sensible. Sensible, pronunciation sensible. So it is an adjective, прилагательное, adjective, sensible. The first meaning, showing good judgment. Showing good judgment. Показывающий хорошее суждение. A sensible decision. A sensible decision. Decision решение. Разумное решение. A sensible decision. Or the second meaning, suitable for a particular purpose, подходящий для конкретной цели, especially a practical one, особенно для практической какой-то. Sensible clothes, sensibly. It's an adverb, как разумно, sensibly. Sensible clothes, разумная одежда, подходящая для данного случая. Sensible clothes. So sensible decision, sensible clothes, sensibly. И мы знаем еще такое же прилагательное, очень похоже, sensitive. Так вот, это sensitive, чувствительный, а вот sensible – это разумный. Complete the dictionary extracts by writing a definition. Напишите свое определение следующим словам. Retire. So pronunciation retire, it is verb, глагол, retire. I'd like to retire before I'm 60. Abroad. Did you go abroad for your last holiday? Adverb. Get on with somebody. I get on well with both my sisters. Pitch. The players ran out onto the pitch. So please stop the video, остановите видео, and write down the definitions of these words. Запишите определение данным словам. And compare your definitions with the definitions of Longman Active Study Dictionary. А затем посмотрите и сравните эти определения со словарем Longman. Обратите внимание на словесное окружение, на контекст, в котором данные слова могут употребляться. And here we have 3 pictures, and look at the photos. Who are the people, and how do you think they are connected? Who are the people? So these are 3 girls on the first picture with cell phones. On the second picture, there are 2 guys with balls and the phones, and on the third picture, there are 2 men that actually faced each other and bumped into each other suddenly, and they're glad to see each other. And how do you think they're connected? So the first picture, I think they are friends. The second picture, I think they're brothers. And the third picture, I think they are at least acquaintances or old friends or something like that. And here are some words for you to remember: wife, husband, colleague, stepsister, sibling, half-brother, soulmate, partner, neighbor, close friend, acquaintance. And choose 3 of the people from the below and take turns to describe them to a partner. From the above, and take turns to describe them to a partner who is close to you, who is the closest to you. Okay, I don't have a wife, I have got no wife, I have got no stepsister, I have got no partner. Okay, let's speak about my neighbor. I can't say that my neighbor is the closest person to me, but she's a very good girl. She is very supportive and very friendly, and it is always pleasant to talk to her. So the first one. The second, colleagues. I'm fond of my colleagues because they are very educated people, and I love speaking to them, and it's always a pleasure to, and I enjoy their company totally. And what shall I say? Let me speak about my acquaintances. Acquaintances, I have rather a pretty number of acquaintances, a good plenty of acquaintances, a lot of acquaintances. And I shall say that they are really educated people, and they are very interesting to talk to because they are from different fields of business and society, and it is always a pleasure to talk to them because they fill you up with very interesting and new information and new emotions. Okay, and last task for today's intro lesson is look at the sentences and check you understand the meaning of the underlined phrases. Сейчас мы с вами посмотрим на предложения и запомним при проговаривании новые фразы, которые помогут вам характеризовать отношения с вашим окружением. Все эти фразы достаточно свойственны для английского языка, поэтому вы можете смело пользоваться ими в устной речи, не только в устной. А затем мы ответим на вопрос: which sentences are true for you? Что для вас подходит, что для вас истина. So the first sentence: I come across as confident when you first meet me, but I'm shy really. Я показался. Я кажусь уверенным. Не показался, я кажусь. I come across as confident when you first meet me, but I'm shy really. I often bump into old school friends when I'm out in my local area. Bump into — сталкиваться. I didn't make a very good impression on my neighbors when I moved in. Make a very good impression on my neighbors. Make a very good impression on — производить впечатление. I didn't see eye to eye with any of my siblings when I was growing up. See eye to eye — встречаться с глазу на глаз или встречаться. I keep in touch with almost all my friends from my first school. Держу связь, поддерживаю связь. I try not to judge a book by its cover when I meet new people. Не судить людей по внешности. I prefer talking face to face. Говорить с глазу на глаз. Rather than on the phone or online. And I've never met anyone and just clicked with them immediately. Clicked with – подружиться. I've never met anyone and just clicked with them immediately. So which sentences are true for you? As for me, when I bump into old school friends, I'm really very happy because they remind me and we laugh together very often. I keep in touch with all my university friends, and I never judge a book by its cover when I meet new people. It's totally true for me. And I've never met, when I don't know anyone from a company, from a society, I just click with them, not immediately, but I try to click with them because it's very interesting for me to meet new people. So which sentences are true for you? Please answer answer the questions, and it's going to be very interesting to listen to your answers. And up for now, thank you very much for your attention. See ya.